The Aquatic Scourge honestly hardly counts as an attack. He's kind of a bum of a fight, to be honest. I found it very easy to dodge. I didn't even build an arena and was still able to dodge. My first couple attempts, I got all the way him all the way down to like desperation phase, half health. Like you'd really think he's a mini boss with his health bar. They really got to up his health bar for a worm, like a certain other worm. Well, I killed him consistently in adrenaline. When I got adrenaline, I that was the attempt I won. While I did like that, killed him fast. Don't get me wrong. The part I played was very enjoyable. The attacks were cool patterns, manageable dodging. Didn't feel like there's any real RNG to it or any out of player control. I'll say it felt very isolated in experience, like a good point in progression, if not for maybe health, which I guess for a worm fight, I don't know how I would address. Honestly, it was so easy and I killed it so fast. It's gotta go like down here. It was just so free. It was so freezy peasy. I can't possibly put it any. Honestly, for stage of progression it came in, like after that I fought Prime. Just to give you my warning now, I think Prime was the easiest of the mech bosses. And I think that was because they didn't really know what they were doing with them. Like, the progression within the fight felt weird. During his first phase, his head is invulnerable and all four arms are trying to attack you. But the arms all sharing a health bar and doing the same exact attack pattern meant once I learned them, there was no deviation, I beat them every time. It was very easy to adapt to the dodge. It wasn't like, how do I dodge this? It's so dynamic. No, very basic attacks. And once I beat that, the head went down right afterwards. It was like the head had hardly any attacks. They were all basic to dodge in practice. For being a mech boss here, I thought it was way too easy, honestly. Now, for me, hyping it up is way too easy. I'm still probably gonna put it. I'll also put it like about there, which I know calling this fight way too easy and putting it partially up the tier list feels weird. I think that is a testament to how strong most of the bosses were in this phase, at least mech bosses were. Brimstone Elemental. This is another odd case where I think the boss was just put at a horrible spot in progression. But I can't say. Honestly, this boss and Cryogen need to swap places. To start with the positive, at least. The attacks were so cool. The patterns were so unique. It visually was so stunning. And the like learning how to dodge was such an eureka moment. It felt amazing. They encircle you with a big like brimstone circle and little flower buds spawn in on it. And I didn't really process anything and kept getting hit thinking it was unfair. And I was actually going to comment that it was kind of bull crap. Should really be made less variance in this regard because it should be dodgeable. But when I figured out the flowers where the bullets went to, oh my god, it felt so cool. And then after that, I won immediately. Yeah, I can't really get around it. The other attacks in this fight, the attacks in this fight are cool, but it has no health. Like, no health. Three attacks and this thing was almost dead. The desperation attack, and I think my winning attempt that didn't get a desperation attack off, I killed it too fast. That doesn't say how little health it had. I don't know what else would. This is another one that's going down here. I don't think it, honestly, I don't know. These two are pretty interchangeable. They were both so easy. Not a good performance from the in-between mech boss fights. Bark! The Destroyer. The Destroyer is the worst boss so far. Finally taking the cake up here. So, it's really hard for me to express how much I hate this fight, but let me try to. It really felt like I wasn't in control of half my deaths. When I would die, it didn't feel like it was my fault in any way. The Destroyer has an attack where he dashes at you, and when he dashes at me, I dash away. Easy dodge. Except sometimes he would delay the dash by random increments. Sometimes he would track me through my dash, getting me killed anyways. Sometimes even Rod of Discord wouldn't get me away. He would dash at me, I'd Rod of Discord, full 180 straight up, kill me instantly. What? Why can Destroyer do that? The probes were so bold. Sometimes they died before they reached me for seemingly no reason. Sometimes they didn't. Sometimes they were hyper accurate demons who would track me down and not stop dashing. Other times they would give up dashing before they even reached me. The desperation phase towards the end has a bunch of projectile vomit that is honestly pretty annoying to dodge, especially when it's combined with him still dashing at you. The fight felt like an RNG madness. It felt like I just had to get lucky and roll the dice with him not being auto homing, him not projectile locking, his drones not just randomly ending the run. I ended up just true melee blasting him down and winning. I wish I could say there's a cool pattern, cool trick. There isn't. This fight fucking sucks. Yeah, sorry for getting a little heated at that last fight. I can't put into words how bad Destroyer was. So let's just move on, shall we? The Cal Clone. Cal Clone was very hard. Not Destroyer hard, because they were fair. It felt, every fight, it honestly felt like Brimstone. It felt like Brimstone Elemental if they had a bigger health bar and more attacks. The patterns were very unique, it was very fun. I think watching back the footage, I actually have footage for this. I remember that off the top of my head. Let's go. But looking at the footage, this is like one of the funnest fights to just visually look at, in my opinion at least. That's not to say it's all positives, though. While the fight was decently hard with these cool patterns, I noticed this bad problem with variance. Each attack could vary like in 6 different ways on like any other fight, and if you didn't know how to dodge those 6 different ways of every attack and all their unique patterns and where that will leave you in the arena and how to dodge, you kind of just lose. Especially considering there's some bad progression problems, like, oh, I'm so sorry. The brothers phase is just awful. I really don't like the brothers phase. You beat it every time once you learn it. Felt like they should really have redesigned it in some way. There's also the awkwardness of the beginning can set up your whole run. If during the first fight they use homing projectiles, you get pushed to the top of your arena or bottom of your arena, and you tend to just get desynced. Every other attack doesn't want you there. But if you get the other variant of this attack, you stand completely still and dodge it fully. What? Why? And then this is to say, remember when I said there's no RNG in this fight? Back again to tell you I lied. The weird end phase. The end phase of this fight just seems so confused, man. The dash hitbox was huge, the projectiles are awkward. You dodge the dash, you dodge the projectiles, but if you don't dodge the dash, you wouldn't dodge the projectiles, meaning the projectiles never really kill you or do anything. It's very awkward to dodge the preamble to the dash where they do the spinning projectiles, because those just, if you're set up awkwardly and they're on the wrong side of you at the edge of an arena, too far down, oh well, I guess you lose. And then right after those dashes that are incredibly hard, incredibly precise, and require this huge arena, they do one of the easiest attacks to dodge where you hold up or down. Felt very confused what it wanted to be. As for difficulty, it was probably the hardest fair fight. I'd put it above these guys, and honestly, if I was ranking them, I'd want to put it up here. But because there was no RNG elements, and because once I got good, I was consistently dodging everything, I can't reasonably say it was harder than Brain, harder than Slime God, harder than Destroy. Those fights you can just lose. That's not true for... Honestly, I think that'll knock it down here. Though, there's an argument for up here, just because it was difficult. Uh-huh. Did I do it? I did it! I did it! I did it! Oh my god! The recording's only 5 minutes long! Oh, well, not 5 minutes of the 10th. I've been practicing since 3 and it's almost 10. Kill me. In the final fight to round it off, I know I said Golem, but after looking at the boss list, I realized Plantera was the actual halfway mark to Moonlord. Plantera, though, on their own, I'd say they're cool patterns. I don't know how much I can say that, but it's unique. The first phase is whatever, but the second phase is leaving like landmines around the arena. It's a lot more of dodging these landmines as you're getting dashed at. Not really reacting to anything. They've always been there. It's a skill in your movement. Feels very cool. Their projectile attack. It also feels so unique with maneuvering around these landmines as the slow attack comes out. If it weren't for any individual part, this fight would honestly be even easier than it already is, which touches the biggest problem. This fight's really easy. Because it's not reaction based and it's more of your movement, if you have good movement with double jumps, wings, Rod of Discord, if you know what you're doing or have an arena, it's just free. It's a pretty free fight. Coming off Cal Clone, I was prepared to lock in, but I actually almost beat this fight without recording and needed to go back and lose so that way I could get a recording of me winning. Now, this is the most awkward one for me to rate because I think it was more fun, honestly, than almost any of these fights. So this was fun right up here. It was so enjoyable. Hard? Just looking at these bosses, like, look at Queen Slime took me 150 odd attempts. Prime, definitely not. I think it was harder than Wall. Was it harder than Wall even? Like, it's down here. Plantera was such a disappointment, honestly, in terms of difficulty. Honestly, looking at this tier list now, it's kind of funny seeing all these pretty hard mode fights down in these hard mode bosses, but that's what you get ranking off progression, in my opinion. So far, it's been very enjoyable. I kind of maybe touched on it. I don't know if editing me left the previous clip in, but I'm gonna go up to Moonlord next, and then after that, I don't know how I'm gonna split up post Moonlord. I'll decide something. I'll look into it. It's been an enjoyable experience. The biggest holdback for me saying that anyone should do this now that I'm getting farther in has definitely been some mechanics with RNG. Stuff like the phase changing, just killing you, is just so rage inducing. Like, that's no fault of me. I guess I just lose. And I really feel like they could have done that better. I feel like something could have been changed to make that solvable. And attacks having all these variants of themselves where there's 7 different ways to dodge the same attack, and that same attack has 8 different variants where those 7 different ways need to be used differently in mechanic. I feel like they should normalize it a bit more or make it so there's some consistent dodge pattern that works for all of them for the start, and then you need to deviate afterwards to give you the reaction time needed. Am I going to call any fight outwardly bad? Yes. These 3 up here. If you're not those 3 fights, though, no. These fights have actually been very enjoyable. If you think these fights should be harder, then buff their health. Well, I'm glad you listened to my little ramble session. Bye bye!